Hey everybody, this is Daniel with the Bothersome Truth. I want to talk about a recent poll from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution showing that Georgia is basically a toss-up. Now, this is not the first poll. This is the latest in a string of polls showing that Georgia is more and more up for grabs than it has been in the past. Keep in mind, Georgia has not voted for anyone but the GOP presidential nominee since 1996, so this is surprising. And I will say I have some connections with the Democratic Party, and I have heard that the Democrats have believed that they could flip Georgia, but we're kind of seeing that with what's happened with Donald Trump. So let me give you the numbers. Trump is leading Clinton 44-42 among likely Georgia voters. That is within the margin of error. Gary Johnson's at 9%, the Libertarian candidate, and about 4% of likely Georgia voters still haven't made up their mind, which is surprising, but that's a conversation for another day because I get it. Well, not really, but okay. Both candidates are still very deeply unpopular in Georgia. Nearly 60% of voters view Trump's treatment of women as a legitimate issue in the presidential race, based on the Trump tapes, which we have all heard about unless you live under a rock. Now, you may question why people care about that so much. You may disagree with that. That's your opinion. That's not necessarily what I want to talk about here. I want to talk about my thought process upon hearing this, because part of the reason that I decided that I was going to vote third party is because I felt like, based on how the Electoral College works, if the state went red, my vote really wouldn't matter if I voted opposed to it or for it once you hit a certain threshold, because it's like first past the post kind of voting. I also thought to myself, if I voted, if the state goes blue, then my vote won't matter to an extent, or it won't really factor in once the district or wherever goes to that candidate and you have that first past the post voting as well. But I thought either way, if I vote third party, my vote counts because the third party candidates can take and appreciate every single vote they get. And if we're really unhappy with the candidates that we've been getting from the two-party system, if we believe that they're corrupt in different ways, which I do, then we've got to put our support behind third-party candidates, because we're not going to get third-party candidates if we don't vote for third-party candidates. We have more power than we realize, and it's only when we say enough is enough that we will start seeing some changes. My opinion, but we'll get back to the poll information. So now that Georgia's more of a toss-up, I had to ask myself, okay, well, would I consider voting for one of the two big candidates if Georgia's a toss-up? And my answer is no. I'm not voting for either one of the big two candidates. And I'm doing this video because there's some people who feel the same way I do. But sometimes you're in a debate with someone and they start talking about the lesser two evils, and you may not know what to say, or you get frustrated and you're trying to figure out how to articulate your viewpoint. And so I'm doing this video because maybe this can help. You can share it with them and they can kind of get why, even if Georgia's a toss-up, if you live in Georgia or you live in a toss-up state, you're still not going to vote for one of the big two candidates. I'm still not going to vote for them because I believe both of them are corrupt in different ways. One of them is the corrupt politician who benefits from pay to play. One of them is the corrupt businessman who benefits from pay to play. It's like two sides of the same corrupt coin. And thinking that one side's better than the other really kind of misses the point, because though Hillary could be better in some areas, she's much worse than others. And though Trump is better in some areas, he's worse than others. It's enough to make me say I'm not voting for either one of them. Furthermore, I think if we vote for one of the two big candidates and we complain and say we're tired of the corporatism, the neoliberal ideologies and practices, if we're tired of more warmongering, if we're tired of Wall Street getting everything that they want, if we're tired of a lack of necessary investment in social programs, if we are tired of being told all these reasons why the American people can't have the things that they want and need, seeing jobs shipped overseas and being told that these are trade agreements when they're really not, as far as, helping with jobs and things, as long as we keep voting for these big two candidates, even if we don't like one of the big two, if we keep voting for them, whether we realize it or not, sending a message to the big two parties that their corruption is bad, but still acceptable. We're still telling them, like, it's okay for you to really do what you keep doing because you're going to get our votes. It's only when they stop getting our votes that they're going to realize this is not acceptable. And so that's why, even if it's a toss-up, I'm more emboldened to vote third party. I'm not less emboldened. Like, I'm not going to not vote for Jill Stein. I'm going to vote for Jill Stein, and I'm going to do it even more proudly. Okay? Because I want those out there to see, with WikiLeaks, with Trump tapes, with Trump University, with Pay for Play, Clinton Foundation, all of it. I'm not going to reward your corruption. And as long as you keep thinking it's okay to do wrong by the American people, because you only really care about the top 1% or 0.01%, the top few powerful. As long as you think that that's okay, you're not getting my vote, you're not getting my support. You will, in fact, get my political and verbal opposition. And so I hope this video is helpful. I hope that if there's people who feel the same way I do, that you will comment, give me some feedback, tell me what you think. Share it with other people who won't listen when they keep telling you to vote for the lesser two evils. Because I'm just not voting evil anymore. I'm going to vote in what I believe is my best interest and the best interest of this country, even if other people don't like it. This has been Daniel with Bothersome Truth. Don't forget, we are on Twitter at Bothersome Truth. We would love to hear from you. We'd love to have dialogue. And we hope that with what we're doing here, we can kind of build up to a community of people who can have civil discourse about politics, about all the issues they say don't talk about, but do it in a way that's respectful, based on logic and reason and facts and data. Because that's what we need more of. We don't need more emotional politics. We need more policy-driven and logical politics. Otherwise, we're going to keep getting Trump, we're going to keep getting Clinton, and we're going to keep getting frustrated because we keep getting evil. This has been Daniel with the Bothersome Truth, and I hope you have a good